He is officially a complete irredeemable bad guy now. I hate Shigaraki with a burning passion. I don't understand why people have to feel pity for him. He is evil. And if anything, and if people are still doubting that he could be redeemed or anything else, this chapter, here and now, showed what he really is. And I was right all along. I said to a lot of people, he wanted to kill his family, and yes, it is true. He wanted to kill his family. He is a complete monster and complete evil, as the nightmare chapter of Tomura Shigaraki's origin ends with this thing here and now, with the destruction of his father's hand. He destroyed it, and I knew he will do the rest with the rest of his hand. He wanted to kill his family, he killed his family. And so the nightmare that is the terror, the symbol of terror and despair, is officially born. The angry anime fan, the despair reviewer. We see the flashback on what many people did not help Shigaraki. Why would they? He looked disturbing and he was strange. It made sense for people not to help him. That is what happens in real life too. You don't help someone that looks strange on the street because they look strange on the street. You're not meant to help them because you don't know what to do with them. And they thought that a hero will come, but they didn't, and so they each started to disappear. And part of Shigaraki thought that it would end if someone lend a hand. But the one who did lend a hand was none other than All For One, who said that he carried an urge to destroy. We saw the time he was bullied around by some bullies. So All For One was the one who actually told him to embrace his inner hatred. Yes, you may say that Shigaraki could have been redeemed, but he couldn't. He was disturbed from the moment his father started abusing him. He was already gone. Perhaps if his father wasn't such an abusive guy, then maybe he would still be Tenko. But no, he is not. This is exactly why All For One says he was born twisted, because he was born twisted. All For One did was using psychology in order for him to realize what he was truly holding back. Deep down, Shigaraki was still a little bit of a Tenko. Didn't know if it was important. But he made it embrace him that what did he want to do? And what he wanted to do was to kill. So he killed the thugs, wielding the hands, even as a young one, as the doctor and All For One just sat beside and watched, saying that he is shutting out the memories because he is restraining himself. But he is insecure. However, he will give him the affinity he needs, the seeker of destruction, the symbol of terror. That is what All For One wanted. He wanted Shigaraki to become a symbol of destruction and despair. And deep down, wielding the hands, he felt disgusted, and yet somehow he also wanted to be forgiven. But deep down, he also didn't want that at all. So even All For One gave the hands of the people he killed. And with that gave him a new name, Shigaraki Tomura. Tomura because it's to mourn, a single sorrow of death and parting. And what is the thing about Shigaraki? Well, Shigaraki is All For One's last name. We don't know his real name, but now we have learned that All For One actually told Shigaraki his real name. And Shigaraki Tomura became something like the adopted son of All For One, which is why he has always cared for him. In a way, All For One was more of a father than his real father ever was. But that doesn't mean that All For One was any better than Kotaro was. All For One was a disturbing man. He wanted Shigaraki to become like this. So it wouldn't surprise me if he had this plan all along. But that doesn't forgive Tomura. Shigaraki Tomura is a monster, evil incarnate, and my hatred for him has only grown after this chapter. So it's the fact that, but that All For One's last name is also Shigaraki is a clue to everything else. That means that the first user of One For All is also named Shigaraki, but I wonder why. Either way, with that, he remembered it all. And that Shigaraki reveals that he wanted to kill his family and there was no tragedy. As Gigantomachia approaches Shigaraki, yes, suddenly Shigaraki destroys his hands. With that, his true evil awakens. And now there is not a single trace of Tenku Shimura left in him. He is now completely and utterly Shigaraki Tomura, and this ultimate symbol of evil. All for one, why do you even feel pity for that boy? He is not someone to be pitied. He is someone to be feared, and someone that needs to die. But the journey of his villainy is pretty amazing. But I was right all along. I said to people he wanted to kill his family, and this chapter confirmed it. He wanted to kill his family. He's now going to destroy all of the rest of his hands to embrace his symbol. He's going to destroy his image there. And with that, now his true power awakens. Gigantomachia is on his way to Tomura, with apparently using his power he hasn't used before. But if I know anything about despair, is that Shigaraki is just going to show his ultimate power and utterly decimates Gigantomachia, and everything else for that matter. He is now truly the symbol of evil. So, and I want to throw up, yes, and I've never become so angry at seeing Shigaraki than now. With the destruction of his father's hands, though, as well as the other family members, that there goes at least the theory that Eri will be able to revive them. Then that means they will never be revived, nor does that mean they will be redeemed. No, that also means that Shigaraki will also not be redeemed. But it also answers the question that how the hell can Deku defeat him now? Shigaraki is just so powerful now that Deku feels just so far behind. It makes me mad. But you give me your thoughts if you have any.